faceless, we were born for greatness. We're not nameless, we're not faceless, we were born for greatness. We're not nameless, we're not faceless, we were born for greatness. They say that I'm reckless, because I'm relentless. They spit on my face and crush on my name and taking my life in vengeance. Yeah, you can try and blame us and try and take what's sacred, but we're not nameless, we're not faceless, we were born for greatness. Somebody sound the alarm. A fire was set in the dark. It's time that you know. No, we're not nameless, we're not faceless, we were born for greatness. It doesn't matter if the world is gone mad, if we just hold on, if we just hold on, yeah. The sky is falling and the world is gone mad, and we sing our songs and we just hold on, yeah. So if you're running, stop running. One life, one chance, start living. Sing it louder just to let the world know. No, we're not nameless, we're not faceless, we were born for greatness. We're not nameless, we're not faceless, we were born for greatness. No, we're not nameless, we're not faceless, we were born for greatness. Somebody sound the alarm. It's time that you know. It doesn't matter if the world is gone mad, if we just hold on, if we just hold on, yeah. Sing it louder just to let the world know. No, we're not nameless, we're not faceless, we were born for greatness. No, we're not nameless, we're not faceless, we were born for greatness. No, we're not nameless, we're not faceless, we were born for greatness. We were born for greatness. No, we're not nameless, we're not faceless, we were born for greatness. Red alert, John, shine a light down. voices in my head, they counsel me, they understand, they talk to me. You got your rules in your religion, all designed to keep you safe. But when rules start getting broken, you start questioning your faith. I have a voice that is my savior, hates to love and loves to hate. I have a voice that has the knowledge and the power to your fate. I hear voices crying, I see heroes dying. Money, 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 money. Money.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the WWE Wrestling Talk Show with Lisa Lack Jones and
Sean Randy Smith, and it's time to cash in Money in the Bank.
yes, as most people would probably be able to tell by the theme song, we bring you Money in the Bank, which for the first time is being shown as the first pay-per-view to take place after WrestleMania.
Yes.
So let's jump straight into this, shall we, with two kickoff matches.
Starting with our very first kickoff match, which will take place on the pre-show.
In a unusual and almost demotioning move, the Hardy Boys were forced to vacate the SmackDown Tag Team Championships due to Jeff Hardy sustaining a knee injury.
At the hands of the freak Lars Sullivan.
It looked like Shane McMahon were going to hand the championships to Daniel Bryan and Rowan, only for the Usos, by courtesy of the wildcard rule,
which means any superstar from both brands can show up at any brand at any time,
will came out and said, we want those titles. So we basically made a match, which was ultimately won by Daniel Bryan and Rowan. So the two teams will go head-to-head again at Money in the Bank on the pre-show. And as it stands, it is not a tag team championship match.
Correct. And also taking place on the pre-show will be the pre-show championship, the Cruiserweight Championship.
When Tony Nese will defend the championship against Ali Dawali.
But now, on to the card that you have been waiting for, the main Money in the Bank card, in no particular order.
Let's start with the two matches which are basically the namesake of this pay-per-view. The two Money in the Bank ladder matches. And remember, winning these matches virtually guarantees that you will become champion in the 14-year history since Money in the Bank was introduced all the way back at WrestleMania 21. There have only been 3 occasions in which the holder of a Money in the Bank briefcase has failed to cash in.
Yes.
And they were all on the men's side, so the women have 100% record.
As it stands at the moment, but we will start off with one of them.
We will start off with the men's Money in the Bank ladder match, which underwent a late change. In fact, both of these matches have gone under late changes.
originally for one of these individuals that was taking part in the men's Money in the Bank ladder match was Braun Strowman, but at an event that one of us attended, that all changed.
Yes, this was originally advertised as Braun Strowman, Ricochet, Drew McIntyre, and Walter Corbin taking place on Monday Night Raw. However,
at an event that you attended,
on this past week's episode of Monday Night Raw,
again, which you saw live,
Braun Strowman took on Sami Zayn after having difficulties with him the week before, in which they would put the opportunity for Money in the Bank on the line. This was a Falls Count Anywhere match, so with a bit of an assist, shall we say, from Bobby Lashley, Drew McIntyre, and Baron Corbin.
Braun Strowman was removed
from the match, or should we say screwed from the match, by the people he's basically been screwed from for the better part of a year.
So now, this match is now Sami Zayn, Ricochet, Drew McIntyre, Baron Corbin.
On the Raw side. On the SmackDown side, we have Ali, otherwise known as Mustafa Ali, to people thinking who the heck is Ali, not to be confused with Prince Ali from Aladdin.
Very nice.
The Intercontinental Champion Finn Balor.
Balor Club, too sweet.
Andrade Cien Almas, known these days simply as Andrade.
Yes.
And the Apex Predator, the Viper, and former Money in the Bank winner, not counting Mr. Corbin, Randy Orton. Since Randy Orton actually cashed it in successfully, whilst Baron Corbin did not.
Correct.
Now, out of these six,
which one do you reckon we're going to think?
Is it 6 or is it 8? Is it 6 or is it 8? No, it's 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, 8.
So which one out of these 8 do we think are going to walk out with the Money in the Bank?
Well, let's start with who we think is not going to.
So we're going to rule out the following individuals.
I am going to rule out Baron Corbin.
Definitely rule out.
I am also ruling out Sami Zayn because I think that a certain monster may play a part in this match as well after the events of Raw. I am also ruling out Randy Orton because I don't think at this point in his career he needs it. Whilst also slightly ruling out Ali.
But then we also have, so that leaves us with 3 more.
I would say the 2 favourites for me are on the SmackDown side, Andrade, and on the Raw side, Drew McIntyre.
Correct.
Now let's move on to the women's Money in the Bank ladder match.
Yes, which has taken a slight change.
This was originally advertised as from Raw, Natalya, Dana Brooke, Naomi, and Alexa Bliss. However, Alexa Bliss has been pulled out of this match and is yet to have a replacement named. Or at least at the time of this recording, hasn't had a replacement made. By the time we get to Sunday, so they might have.
Correct.
They could replace her with Nikki Cross as she competed in a Fatal 4-Way match on Monday with the rest of the superstars. Or they could stick in Sasha Banks, who is not been seen since losing the women's tag team titles at WrestleMania.
Correct.
Or someone we haven't even thought of.
But by then, we might know. But who are we going to rule out of winning the women's Money in the Bank ladder
Well,
match?
first we need to say who's competing on the SmackDown side of things.
Oh, yes, of course.
On the SmackDown side, we have Mandy Rose, Ember Moon, Carmella, and Bayley.
And on the Raw side,
as previously stated, is currently Natalya, Dana Brooke, Naomi, and a yet-to-be-determined fourth individual.
so who are we going to rule out of winning this matchup?
First of all, I am immediately ruling out Dana Brooke because she has done fuck all to be in this match. Excuse my language.
Pardon the language.
I also hesitantly rule out Natalya.
Yes.
On the SmackDown side, I will probably rule out Carmella because she's already had the contract, and I don't think that they want to do a person winning it twice when we are only at the third women's ladder match. And maybe hesitantly ruling out Ember Moon, although that could be entertaining.
It could be. We'll have to wait and see what happens with that one.
The favourites for me, if you want to go heel, you go Mandy Rose.
But if you go faces,
Then you could go Bayley, because if you go Bayley, you could have her win it as a face, but then cash in and turn heel. And we all know that certain people are calling for a Bayley heel turn. And whilst I like the Bayley character as is, a heel turn could be interesting.
yes. So what is our next matchup on the card?
Well, we all know that WWE stands for
War with Elias.
who got drafted over to SmackDown in the Superstar Shakeup, which is now practically null and void.
Practically, yes.
And his opponent is Roman Reigns, who also went over to SmackDown, but is also null and void.
Correct.
But here, it's you're not gonna have Roman Reigns to lose to someone like Elias unless someone from up in the McMahon family gets involved.
Maybe
But-
Shane.
But that may be slightly difficult for Shane to get involved,
Oh, yes.
because at WrestleMania, Shane literally stole the win and escaped his match with a very angry Miz. And
I do mean angry Miz.
and has spent the past 5-6 weeks running from the Miz at every chance. Well, for Shane McMahon, this pay-per-view should be called No Escape or No Way Out, because there is nowhere left to run, Shane, when you take on The Miz inside a steel cage.
And we said before, as part of the joke, Miz, you're a little bit too late for a certain pay-per-view.
Yes, but after what happened at WrestleMania, you would think that The Miz has got to win this one.
You would think so. wouldn't you?
Because they seem to be, I don't know if this is happening or not, but they seem to be setting up another rivalry for Shane McMahon in the form of Roman Reigns, as we touched on earlier. Because Roman
Yes.
Reigns has had a Superman punch to Vince McMahon.
Correct.
So, before we go to the main titles for everyone, we shall go to a rematch from WrestleMania, which at WrestleMania was only 1 minute long.
It was literally 1 minute long.
Rey Mysterio looks to do what he failed to do at WrestleMania and win the One Championship, which has eluded him in his WWE career, and therefore also become the next Grand Slam champion when he takes on Samoa Joe for the United States Championship.
And now this one should be very interesting.
This one should be interesting. I don't think it's going to be a minute long because I could be wrong, but I think they did that because of Rey Mysterio had some kind of injury at that time.
Yes.
But here there's also the X Factor and what they seem to have been playing up on TV over the past few weeks of Rey Mysterio's son, if he really is his son, as Cesaro also said, but we dealt with that factor 14 years ago as well.
Yeah.
Dominic.
So I'll wait to see about that one.
Who is, of course, being trained as a wrestler, so I wouldn't put it past WWE to have him interjected in some form.
Correct.
So, before we head over to the world titles for the men, let's talk about the titles for the women, shall we? Or shall I say woman, or shall I say man? Becky Two Belts
For the man, Becky Lynch,
became Becky Two Belts by winning the Triple Threat Women's Main Event at WrestleMania, which they did botch, but that's another video. Because Becky Lynch pinned the baddest woman on the planet, Ronda Rousey, thus becoming Becky Two Belts. However, that does mean she has also become Becky Two Matches, potentially 3 if you factor in the women's Money in the Bank contract.
correct.
So we shall start with the Raw Women's Championship.
As Becky Two Belts will defend her Raw Women's Championship against the Southern Belle, Lacey Evans.
Yes, remember that girl who used to just come out and wave to the crowd and model whatever she was wearing? She actually has a match.
She actually competes, if you were wondering. So, as you were in attendance at Raw this past Monday, explain to us what happened when you saw the man get powerbombed through a table.
Yes, basically they did a double contract signing with Lacey Evans, Becky Lynch, and her SmackDown opponent, which we shall get to in a moment. And Becky basically let her mouth get the better of her. There was a mini brawl, which ended with Becky Lynch getting almost shield powerbombed through a table.
Pretty much.
But do we really expect Lacey to win this match? Somehow I doubt it.
I doubt it too. I doubt it too. But we'll have to wait and see what happens with that one.
Yes. On the SmackDown side of things, we get an original match. It's not like we got this match like 10,000 times last year. Becky
Lynch will defend her SmackDown Women's title
against Charlotte Flair. Again.
The 11th million time.
Now, this This was basically made because Becky Lynch, the point was made that Becky Lynch did not beat Charlotte at WrestleMania. Therefore, Becky does have a claim to the championship. However, she did have to beat Bayley when Bayley was moved over to SmackDown in order to get this title match.
Yes.
But this could go one of several ways.
It could.
Because how do we see this going? In fact, we could say this for both of the women's championship matches. Either Lacey Evans or Charlotte Flair wins, or Becky Lynch and wins both matches, or just wins one of them. She could even win each match and then have the briefcase holder cast in on.
We'll have to see how it all goes down.
So let's move on to the main events of the shows.
Oh yes.
First of all, the Beast Slayer,
Seth Rollins,
has a, let's just say, phenomenal challenge in front of him
I see what you did there.
when Seth Rollins defends the Universal Championship against newly moved over to Raw, AJ Styles.
Now, as you were in attendance at Monday Night Raw this past Monday, what else would you say about this rivalry?
Well, when I was there on Monday, they didn't really do anything during the actual show in the ring. They cut a promo in the backstage area.
But you did see a weird title match involving Seth Rollins.
Yes, we got AJ Styles took on Drew McIntyre in a dark match after Raw went off the air.
In which AJ Styles won by disqualification.
Yes. And then Seth Rollins thought it would be a brilliant idea to do a Universal Championship match against Baron Corbin.
In which Seth Rollins retained the championship.
Yes, before swinging it around his head like he did when he won the match and when he did the high stuff essentially.
But anyway, our next match is...
Here, whilst I think AJ Styles may and is a strong candidate to become Universal Championship by the end of the year, I think that they need to keep the Universal Championship on Seth Rollins until at least SummerSlam, I would say.
I'd say for that as well.
WrestleMania to SummerSlam tends to be a healthy title run.
Yes.
However, I don't see a title run going from WrestleMania to SummerSlam on the SmackDown side of things.
No, I don't see it either.
Because on the SmackDown side of things, a 13 or 11?
I don't know.
In an 11-year journey came to an end when Kofi Kingston defeated Daniel Bryan to become WWE Champion.
But ever since he won the championship, he's had a massive target on his back. Until now.
Well, let's rewind a little bit. Kofi wins the title at WrestleMania. The next night on Raw, he is put in a title for title, or he challenges Seth Rollins in a title for title match, similar to what happened with the women at WrestleMania, only for the main event of Raw. That match is interrupted by The Bar, who then lose a tag team match. The next night on Raw, next night on SmackDown, they are interrupted by The Bar again, except they are joined by Drew McIntyre, who lose a 6-man tag team match to the whole of the New Day. Then things start to get a little bit more interesting.
Oh, yes, they do.
Because the week after that, Big E is injured.
Yes, and he hasn't been seen for a while, and that's the reason why.
So we have the New Day, or 2/3 of the New Day, on the Kevin Owens show, in which Kevin Owens joins, or is asked to join, if he can join the New Day, and therefore be referred to as
Big O.
Yes.
Just to cover for Big E's injury.
That lasted
about a week.
That lasted about a week because they had
Kevin Owens turn heel.
They had like a tag team match against Nakamura and Rusev.
Yeah.
That went fine. The next week, after being attacked by Rusev in a one-on-one match, and Shinsuke Nakamura over, a whole brawl broke out.
Yeah.
After things started to calm down, Kevin Owens goes heel by attacking Kofi Kingston. Where have we seen that before?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes, that's right. I seem to remember something similar happened to a certain Chris Jericho.
Oh, yes, who is on a promotion we better not mention now.
So he apparently wants the WWE Championship.
He does.
And has been challenged to a WWE Championship match at Money in the Bank.
I mean, again,
However, at this past week, for reasons only known to himself, Kevin Owens decides to invite Kofi Kingston onto the KO show. Kevin Owens thought he had mastered a brilliant plan by enlisting the help of his former friend and enemy by the name of Sami Zayn to attack Kofi Kingston.
Literally from behind.
The only problem is that after attempting to go for the cannonball in the corner and missing, Sami Zayn ended up eating a trouble in paradise.
Yep, he did. Literally square in the mush.
And Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens decided to bolt it and wait until Sunday. The question is, who will win this match? Personally, I would like to see Kofi Kingston given a slightly longer reign.
Or do they
put the title back on Kevin Owens, because I will admit a world title run by a person like Kevin Owens is actually quite fun. I mean, when he was Universal Champion on Raw, that was a relatively successful run for Kevin Owens. That was until he was squashed by a man called Goldberg.
Yeah. Pretty much squashed.
So that does it for the Money in the Bank card. We will run through the match card quickly one more time.
Going like this.
Taking place on the kickoff show, Daniel Bryan teams with Rowan to take on the Usos.
Tony Nese will defend the Cruiserweight Championship against Aya Davari.
And then on the main card, Becky Lynch defends the Raw Women's Championship against Lacey Evans. Then the SmackDown Women's Championship against Charlotte Flair.
The Beast Slayer, Seth Rollins, will defend his Universal Championship against the phenomenal AJ Styles.
Kofi Kingston will defend the WWE Championship against Kevin Owens.
Samoa Joe will defend the United States Championship against Rey Mysterio.
The Miz will take on Shane McMahon inside the steel cage.
Roman Reigns takes on Elias.
And then the Money in the Bank ladder matches for the men: Sami Zayn, Ricochet, Drew McIntyre, Baron Corbin, Ali, Finn Balor, Andrade, and Randy Orton.
And for the women's, Natalya, Dana Brooke, Naomi, Bayley, Mandy Rose, Ember Moon, Carmella, and a yet-to-be-announced opponents.
So we shall see you next week, where we shall bring you all the results and our reactions to Money in the Bank. Will they be rolling in millions, or will they be broke?
Will they be cashing in, or will they be cashing out? Bankrupt. So until then, he's been
Lisa Rock Jones, and he's been
Sean Randy Smith, and don't forget to cash in your Money in the Bank.